Hi guys, number one Marmaduke fan here. I'm about to go to the library, so we're gonna do a quick double manga duel so I can return these two. I just watched your boy Zach video where he was roasting Marvel team up, Miss Marvel and Spider-Man, and he reviewed the comic as they find the bad guy and they punch him in 3 minutes, and then he stalled for 7 minutes. So I feel bad stalling for time if I don't have a 10-minute video out of something. So this is going to be really basic. Case Closed Volume 3, it's every volume of Case Closed is the same. If you like Sherlock Holmes style mysteries and a fun little cute cartoony style to go with Sherlock Holmes mysteries, you're going to love every volume of Case Closed, because every volume of Case Closed knows exactly what it wants to deliver to you, and it delivers that. Fun, cartoony mystery stories. Maybe like one little point about this that I liked is it was a multi-part mystery with some false leads. I remembered this from reading it years ago. I feel like maybe it was a little unfair, like they didn't give you enough information to accurately deduce the true culprit just based on the evidence presented. There were some hints, like you might get a hint at the motive of the criminal. But one of the things I really did like about this mystery is how well it laid out the extended family and all of their different connections to one another. Like they'll literally have their name and their relationship when they're first introduced, and then they'll dumb it down and make a family chart. So he does a really good job of kind of trying to convey to the little kid all the information they need to solve the mystery. It's fun. Every volume of Case Closed is pretty much going to be the same review. Code Geass. Why did I decide to review this again? I reviewed Volume 2 earlier because this is I'm going to read every volume in the library series. That sometimes means I jump around out of order a bit. But then I can use the interlibrary loan system to get the ones I'm missing. I did not like Volume 2 when I read it out of order. I think my review of it was the best thing about Code Geass is "Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?" by Purple Eyes WTF. But I enjoyed Volume 1 more. Maybe it helped that I got to see the actual opening of the story this time. What I didn't dig about Code Geass Volume 2 is I feel like it's a little played out. I'm kind of tired of scrappy rebellion versus evil empire motifs. Like Star Wars did that definitively. You're going to have to put some sort of twisteroo into the mix. Now, a commenter said there's this really interesting world-building thing about Code Geass where Britannia isn't normal England. It's an alternate history where the Britons were able to resist the Roman Empire and build a completely British empire without the influence of the French kings or the Roman Empire, which is kind of very, very fascinating. So they'll have a lot of Gallic names to it, but it's sort of the most interesting part of it is the part that doesn't get expounded upon too much. I look at Code Geass as it's basically like Death Note or the good old, will you sell your soul to the devil story, where Lelouch or Lulu, he's a Britannian who hates the British Empire. He gets a chance to get a superpower, and he has a grand scheme to take down Britain. His best friend Suzuku is Japanese, and Suzuku believes in using reforming the institutions from within. So Suzuku joins the Britannian army. He kind of has to put up with being hated for being Japanese by the Britannians and being hated by the Japanese because he joins the Britannians, but he believes he can do something positive to protect the lives of the Japanese if he's within the Britannian Empire, and Lelouch wants to destroy it all. It kind of reminds me of Death Note, because Death Note, one of the reasons I think Death Note is so popular, and maybe actually Case Closed is an illustration of this too, is Death Note is a kind of retelling of a very interesting mystery story in the 21st century, where in the 21st century, it's kind of most detective work in the 21st century. It's let's look at the security video. Oh, look, we got a shot of his face. Let's look at the video of the license plate. Oh, look, there's his license plate. We caught our crook. And good old school detective stories is it's always oh, this piece of evidence, this rules out this person, and this piece of evidence, this puts it all together, and you are the killer. That doesn't really work anymore in realistic 21st century
stories. And what's beautiful about Death Note is because of the supernatural element, it brings in this sort of Sherlock Holmes, who's doing all of these murders and how do I catch them if they have the superpower of killing from a distance without leaving any evidence behind. I've got to use logic and narrow down the possibilities based on the schedule of the killing. So that's one of the reasons Death Note is so good. I think the problem with Code Geass is I don't believe you could be like this Zoro type of character
in a futuristic, 21st or 22nd century empire. Like, they immediately get like some security footage of
him running around and catch him. No.
There are things I like about Code Geass. I did enjoy Volume 1. There are things I like about it. I just don't know if I like the total effect yet, which means I'm going to keep reading it until I either start just genuinely enjoying it or I just get
sick of it. So I think it's kind of interesting that he has, the superpower that he can do mind control, and he tests it out on some maids, and he figures out that he can only control a person once, and then the power no longer works on that particular person after that. I even kind of like the idea of him just being like a weak little, skinny boy student who has a mental superpower, which means he can use that in creative ways, but that doesn't necessarily mean he can do kung fu and, beat up a bunch of cops using his fists. He's kind of got to use his brain. One of the things I don't like about it is once he starts like showing up in his super duper cool costume, he seems to like mostly pose around looking epic. Let me see if I can find it when he shows off his costume. Yeah, he mostly stands ramrod straight with his cape billowing in the wind, looking super duper cool. I don't know. So I'm kind of judging this based on what I thought of Volume 2. So I am going to give this the old college try. If you are a Code Geass fan, don't worry. I'm going to give this the old college try, and if I like it, I'll tell you why I like it. If I don't like it, I'll tell you why I don't like it. Was there something? Oh yeah, the afterword was kind of sweet, because this is something like, I'm guessing it was a video game or visual novel, and then Machiko adapts it. So Machiko writes, "Ever since I was offered this job, I feel like I am being trained in every aspect possible. I have many things I still need to work on, but I'm doing my best. But I looked at this volume when it first came out, and I'm noticing that the body proportions, faces, and whatnot are not stable. Sweat. I'll work hard to stabilize it soon enough. Sweat." And then he kind of like offers some commentary on like the characters. Good job. That's looking at your work with a critical eye. That's kind of like forcing yourself to improve as you do a serialized work. Everything that your boy Zach talks about how you'd watch Western like Marvel artists get good fast because of the monthly schedule. That's true of the manga industry. You can see the improvement in a lot of great mangaka. So I don't know about Lulocha the Rebellion yet, but I'm not going to drag that out. Case closed 1, this double manga duel. These are both going back to the library. Another cursed library book. Look at all the wrinkles and the plastic coming off. I'm #1 Marmaduke fan. Love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell to receive notifications. Catch you later.